It's unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround here this afternoon.
Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Steenie, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers open the scoring. Martin Tawdry. 12 minutes of the match remaining. A stunner from Kenny Miller. Rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at RangersRadio.online.
He's gone into the middle. McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Inside, is he got it? Left, flies it! Scores! Football! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panel as the one and only Bridgeman and my mate Fox. How we doing, gentlemen?
Evening, guys.
How we doing, Bridge?
Oh, he seems to be all matey with you tonight there, Fox. Better watch yourself here, pal. But can I just say a big good evening to you guys in the panel and a huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening here. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
He told me next Saturday's taking me out and I've not to bring my wallet for a change. There you go.
Foxy said that, did he?
He did. His words.
I did indeed. It says put all your money in your pocket.
So, how are you, Bridge? All right, mate?
I'm okay, pal. I'm okay. Aye. Really looking forward to the weekend. I was over. I don't know if I said to you. I was over at Ibrox today.
All right,
getting
okay.
Getting a
what were you
ticket
saying about the Dundee game, mate?
Just when we were speaking last night, I just got him to confirm it was in fact sold out.
All right.
And he intimated to us that all the home games are just sold out, and they don't expect anything different, or maybe even more demand, if you follow what I mean, for the bigger games. But they're very happy. I says, what's his expectation with season tickets? And he says, well, the letters haven't gone out yet, so you can expect it next week. He says, but let's hope it's the same or more than last. It's quite good, you know.
The support have been brilliant, mate. Brilliant, because let's not kid yourself. We've not exactly been served up brilliant football, have we?
No. Excuse me. Absolutely not.
You know. So, look, we're going to touch a wee bit on Saturday's game, Bridge, but obviously the main build-up with that will be tomorrow night. And then we're going to ask you a question. We're going to ask for people to call in and what having your thoughts on where we're going with the board. Firstly, as a team. Secondly, as investment. And thirdly, as a strategy to keep the fans involved. So we'll open up to callers and we'll have a chat about it and see what we think. And whether you think they're doing a good job, bad job. Different people have different views, Bridget.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
You know? Yeah, but first and foremost, we need to start talking about Saturday's game. What's your thinking, Bridge? Obviously, we're accepting it's a big game, but what's your thinking on? Could we see McCrory playing?
Well, I don't know whether you know about this, but I always watch the evening news, both sides of STV and BBC, because sometimes you get a wee difference. On the ITV or the STV one, they were intimating that McCrory would be back. He's fit enough to play, and he's really looking forward to it. So I think he's targeted to start on Saturday, and that may be with a view to getting 90 minutes under his belt and see how he lasts for up for the Celtic game, you know. So that sounded very good. I was very happy with that. And when we turned to the BBC, there was no football at all. There wasn't any normal sport that they'd report on. And that was the reason for that, of course, is that Celtic never won. If Celtic had won, then they would have had about 4 or 5 stories, but Celtic never won, so you don't get in, and that's what they do. So, but the STV said that it was the expectation, and a good interview with the boy on STV. He sounds bouncy about it and happy.
Excuse me, very, very positive young man, Bridge. Yeah?
Absolutely, pal, absolutely.
Have we missed him, Bridge, or it's one of these things where we're maybe talking him up when he's known the team?
Well, I have to say, in all honesty, I think we have missed him. Certainly the form that he was showing, just before he got injured, and I think he was really, really good. And for some points we were expecting him to go on and do great things for us in midfield. And we were saying that if only we could get Dorans and Ryan Jack and all that fit with him at the same time, and it would be a good team with a really good midfield. So, yeah, I think there is a great hope among the Rangers fans that the boy comes back. And if it's any good at all for him, which we hope it is, then we can look forward to somebody with a wee bit of dig in the defensive midfield role. That's basically what I think.
That's his position for me. I'm not saying he might not end up at centre-half, but with that pace he has, getting around the park, making tackles, asset both boxes, keeps it simple, neat and tidy, passes the ball. Maybe as he develops into the position, Bridge, he'll time his runs and become a threat occasionally in the other team's box. But potentially, it's the CDM, as they call it. He's got potential to improve and hopefully become a stalwart of your team, mate.
Absolutely. I think, like most folk that watched them and watched them on the TVs for the guys that couldn't get to the game. My goodness gracious, he didn't have to play some good football for us from a defensive midfield perspective. Really good. Obviously, we don't want him to go marauding up the park too much because he has got defensive midfield duties to do. And if he's not there to sort of break up their attacks, then we're going to be struggling, which we are at the moment, because we're no breaking them up. But we need to get him up, and he is a great opportunity for him and for Rangers to let that boy develop and go through. And hopefully he gets a game, every game, until between now and the end of the season, and he proves his worth to himself and the club.
Here. Are you with us, Fox?
I am, pal.
Yeah. Let's hope we're not putting too much pressure on the young boy's shoulders.
We have missed him because he's the only one that can play that position, I think, and play it correctly. As you say, the central defensive midfielder. We badly need somebody to sit in front that can tackle. Has a bit of pace about him. He's capable of clearing with his head, mate, to sit in front of Alves and Martin until Bates gets fit for me. And I think we need to play Ross McCrory to get a game under his belt before we go into the split, mate.
Well, and the semi-final?
And the semi, aye.
Mm-hmm. On you go, mate.
No, we have badly missed him, mate. At first, I think the medical staff thought he would only be out for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, but it's ended up nearly 2 months, mate, and in that time we have lost a lot of stupid goals that he could have helped prevent for me. And I know it's a lot of pressure to put on a young man's shoulder, but I think we really miss him, and he's got to start playing regularly for us.
I have to agree with that. Desperate, isn't it? Desperate.
How far can he go in again for you, Bridge?
Well, the sky's the limit for them. Look, we're under no illusions. He's playing for Rangers, and he should be able to do some good things with Rangers. Rangers are a side, potentially a side full of quality, and for a young lad to come in and can play alongside quality players when they're fit and available, then it must be really good. And I can't see anything but success for that boy. Unless he comes in and does some absolute clangers left, right, centre, that's a different ball game then. But if he continues where he left off, so just prior to his injury, he was playing really well for Rangers. There was a couple of games where he was getting swamped and sort of lost what he was doing for maybe a 10-minute spell in the game. But in reality, overall, every game he played, to me, he was great. He was great for us and good for us, good with us, and good for us.
I wish the boy all the best. I think he's got potential to go and be a star for our club and his country, mate. I believe he could be that good, Fox.
I think with Alec McLeish there, he brought a couple of young players into his squad there, and I think McCrory would also have been in that squad if he'd have been fit, mate. I think he's probably defensive midfielder. I don't know whether Alec would like him to go back in defence or anything like that in his way forward, but I think it's our side and all we bothers about is our team, mate. He's a cog that we need so badly to turn well, and for me, McCrory is one of our most important players, 19 or not, mate.
Yeah, he's a young lad, full of talent and full of potential.
I'm looking forward to seeing him back in the team. I think it could maybe change our shape. I think we could maybe go to... it could be a sort of... If they're going to keep with this system, it could be a 4-1-2-3. One Fox, if that makes any sense.
4-1-3-2 would allow Jason Cummins to pair up with Morelos, mate. If that's what the fans want to see until the end of the season. Under the system we play presently, there's no room for me for Jason Cummins at the moment. There's no use bringing him on and putting him out in the left wing. We'll not get anything out of him from there. So if we want to change shape, it'd be 4-1-3-2, and that would allow Cummins to get a chance to play, mate.
Anyway, Bridge, if people want to join us, what's the number?
And they have to just pick up the phone and dial 0141 356 1972, sorry. I lost 10 years there, didn't I?
And where else can you join us, folks?
RangersRadio.online.
Yeah, man, I'm just reading the small print. Bridge never performed with animals, kids, and Bridgeman. Bridgeman. Anyway, if people want to join us, it's 0141. And then we said, you said there, 356 1972. You can join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. It's your show. You dictate where it goes with the calls. So if you're anything on your mind, go on the phone, join the call. Come and speak to us about anything Rangers related. Look, we've talked about young Ross McCrory. I think it'd be all right if we go on mute and let's hear from the boy.
Will do.
In the bottom of my foot, I actually tore the ligaments. So when I was playing with it for a month, it took quite a while to heal as well, and that wasn't helping when I was playing on it. And so we came back for Florida, we got a scan and that, and then we seen what the problem was. So, but it's just took it's taken quite a while, but it's been great with the physio staff with Steve and Alec, and I've also had the docs, so they've been great with me and they managed to get it sorted. To be honest, mentally it's been a challenge because it's the longest injury I've had. I've never really been injured before, I've always just played through something. And then I've just, like, we weren't sure what to do with it because where it was, and so I got the injections, and then we just had to, like, the healing process, and then just did the rehab. So
you mentioned mentally that it's been a challenge. Do you think, in fact, it actually matured you being injured in a way?
Yeah, definitely. Just because, just even sitting in the stands and then just seeing like different aspects of the game, you get to watch it. And obviously, I was in good company with Lee Wallace. Like, they've always been out injured for a while, and Graham Dorrans, and you've also got Ryan Jack. So I had them to keep me in the track, if you know what I mean. So they were always helping me and just saying not to worry about my injury and that. And I even done the rehab because I was doing stuff at the same time as Graham Dorrans. So I was always had company right through. Do
you think that helped you not get as low as you possibly could have?
Oh, definitely. But like, sometimes I did get frustrated. Like, see, even I was doing like certain training and that, and I could still feel it, and I was like just frustrated because I'm like, oh, it's not getting better as quick as I want it to get. But hopefully this is it finally sorted, and then I can get back and kick on from there.
In a way, was it quite good for your body to have a self-imposed rest? Because you played a lot of football very quickly at first team level.
Nah, not really, not really, to be honest. I don't really like resting. It's not something that I take lightly, and especially because I was playing before and then I just got that injury. Well, obviously I was playing through it, but I knew there was something wasn't right when I came back from. In fact, I knew there was something wasn't right when it happened, but obviously I wanted to play through and get to the international, the winter break, and see if it would heal over that period of time. But obviously it's taken a longer time.
You mentioned watching from the stands there. How much have you learned from actually watching this team play rather than being involved in it?
I think the team's have improved dramatically. See, since we've got the signings in from January, the style of play is a lot more tidier in certain aspects of the game. So, and obviously we've been on the good run of form up until obviously these last 2 games, and we're looking to change that and get back into what we were at the start of the year.
Once everyone's fit, there's going to be a bit of a queue for that kind of holding midfield role. So where do you see yourself fitting in now, back into the squad?
To be honest, I'll play anywhere. I'm not too bothered. You've got I can play the deeper one in midfield. I can play centre back or the full backs areas, anywhere in defence really. So wherever the gaffer wants me to play, then I'll just play there.
Do you see anyone as your main competition now?
Every day in the team's competition, but I think that's healthy, especially because the quality's went up. And if we want to get to the next level, then that's what we need. Everybody to be high quality players.
Are you confident that you can get a place back in the starting 11?
Yeah, definitely. I believe in myself, believe in my ability, and even when I've been off, I've been doing a lot of strength and conditioning, so I feel as if I'm coming back stronger and fitter as well. Before, obviously, I was struggling with injury, but now I'm back to full fitness, and even the stuff I've been doing with the physios and the sports scientists, I feel as if I'm coming back stronger, fitter, faster, whatever.
Do you feel that this weekend, if you are involved, there needs to be a big kind of pick up from the game just before the international break? Yeah,
especially the Kilmarnock game was a little flat, and obviously the Celtic game was disappointing, but we're looking to get back on track and get back to winning ways. It's going to be a little bit of a battle, but we can't get drawn into the way Motherwell play. We need to play our own game and just keep building from the back, whatever it is we do, and passing through the lines and whatever.
I want to ask you about Scotland as well, because Alex McLeish's first squad was quite youthful. There was a lot of players capped for the first time. Does that give you hope that perhaps that's an ongoing aim for this season?
Oh yeah, because I know some of the boys from the 21s. But obviously they're a couple of years older than me, but I was definitely looking, hopefully I need to get back from injury first of all, but definitely looking to try and get in the Scotland squad, push for it, as long as I can keep my performances up that I was before.
So, Bridgman, there was something that disturbed me a wee bit in that interview. I don't know if you picked up the same thing.
Go on.
The fact that he played through the injury and he was trying to decide if the club's known as that injury, you've got to deal with it, and that's a big decision you've got to make. I know you might have thought, let's see if once it goes down, it might not be as bad as we thought, but ultimately, it looks as though we made a mistake playing the boy.
I think so too. Look, any players that tell you that they're not feeling it, and I would like, there is such a thing as being able to run an injury off, and young Ibrox Loyal will be able to tell you that kind of thing happens. You are able to do it, but you need time to do it. But if he's making the decision, or he's been given the authority for himself to make the decision, okay then, it's your call, son, it's your call. But really and truly, what you're saying, and I agree with you, they shouldn't be saying that. If you're injured, you're injured. Don't take any chances. No matter how young you are, don't take any chances. Get it sorted.
Ultimately, sometimes younger people can end up with more problems, Fox, if their injury's not treated.
Funny thing was, when the medical staff first came out, they said it was a chipped bone, but he's saying it was ligaments there, which surprised me. And I agree with you, if he was making the decision to play through the injury, it was a wrong move, and it's something a young boy would do. But for his future career, mate, he should have really got on the ball with that right away and stepped aside for the side so that he could recover quickly, mate. He might have been back before now, you know.
Aye, that's the thing, mate. You might have been back playing, and you ultimately, you've got your asset back in the pitch quicker, mate.
Aye, yeah. That's the thing.
Well, it's been a long time, and I'm glad they haven't brought the others back quickly. And the one I would like to see back playing for us is Ranger. I would desperately keen to see him back play for us. I think he's quality.
Next season.
It's quite
anyway,
key,
talking about young boys.
Oh,
and we're not talking about the story that's broke today, if you don't mind. We've been joined by Ibrox Loyal. How we doing, Ibrox?
Evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Gentlemen.
Well, you're a gentleman on the panel.
Oh, thanks very much, mate. They two might be called that, but I'm very seldom called that. How are you, mate?
I'm doing well, mate. Doing well. Glad to hear young McCrory's now near enough fully on the mend. Hopefully he'll be able to push himself back into starting contention because we've really missed him. Hopefully we can get him in this coming weekend to give him plenty of match sharpness before the semi-final of the Cup. I was just listening to his interview there and I can feel for him, mate, because not the same injury that he had, but I injured my knee twice in the same knee, and basically that ended my career. Not that it was ever going to go that far.
My information on that injury was you were told by the coaching staff to pick the ball out with different knees. Pick the ball out of the net with different knees.
Different knees. I did it with the same knee, mate. I must have ever picked up the injury again.
So he had an RSI in his knees, Bridge.
But as I was saying, mate, I'm absolutely delighted that he's back. I know what he says, it just wasn't healing quick enough, and I felt the exact same way first time round. I wanted back a lot sooner than actually go back the first time, but now that he's back, he can get back into that central defensive midfield role that we know him in now, and it'll help us stop conceding these silly goals that we conceded in the last 3 matches, I believe. For the Old Firm game, to the Kilmarnock game, to the Motherwell game, if young McCrory was there, we don't concede anywhere near these sort of goals because he's there to help cover and make up our back three at times as well when we have needed it.
And he showed promise on the ball as well. Ibrox, just moving forward, making passes, growing into position. Time will tell, you know what I mean?
No, he did. He started that way, mate, under Ian Durant, and when he was up at Dumbarton a few seasons back. That's where they started playing him in a central defensive midfield role as well, and he was doing really well. Obviously, our youth manager at the time obviously was Graham Murray, and he's known it, and that's why he gave him that role in the Rangers first team, and it served him very well, mate. At this moment in time, I don't see McCrory as his natural position as a centre-back, but he's a much better central defensive midfielder for the sheer fact he's got the quality long passes and short passes, and he knows how to hold onto the ball and when to pass it at the right times. For me, they are the exact key ingredients for a central defensive midfielder.
Bridgeman?
You can't take it in the way that Loyal's saying it. I think most of us agree. There's no doubt about it. He could do a job for you in centre half. There's no doubt about that. But I think he would do a better job for us playing as a defensive midfield part. And I think he's done that. He's proved it. He's proved his worth. And I think we were a better outfit, a better team with him playing there. Now, that's not to say we couldn't put someone else in there, but we need to go and get that someone else because based on what we see, he is not there. They don't have one that's there anywhere near as good as he is. So I'd really love to see him playing just in front of, for instance, the guys that we've got left, if we can get them back, young Bates and Bruno Alves, and see how we're going for there. Because they're the only two that I think are worth it getting. And by the way, Mr. Alves has not set himself up in glory, but he's still probably a more reliable than the others, Cardozo or Russell Martin. And I desperately need to see young Bates come back in. I thought him and young McCrory were the two finds of the season for me.
Potentially, mate. Can I just give a shout out to Ian from Falkirk, who has just joined the lobby. He's a friend and acquaintance of the newshound, CC Barrell. Welcome to Rangers Radio, and I hope you enjoy the show, and I hope you enjoy the banter in the lobby.
Get in there, Ian. Get in there, son. Enjoy it.
Yep.
There's another point about McCrory coming back into the side for me. Because as he's coming back in, mate, we've obviously, I think Windass will be out of the side because of the injury. Would that allow Graham Dorrans then to take up his role?
Spot on, Fox, I think. Spot on, mate. And then you end up, Dorrans has got a mere all-round midfield game, and Josh Windass, who's, let's not kid yourself, he's only one to really play in the final third, where Dorrans has responsibilities for the midfield position. You get the physicality, Bridgeman, physicality of McCrory helping your defence, headers and getting about the pitch, making tackles. And then you also have the mere natural midfielder, like Graham Dorrans in the mere forward position. 1-1 for me, that. 1-1.
Would you go back to the Diamond Ox? Would you go back to the maybe McCrory, defensive midfielder, young boy Ghosts and the young boy Docherty, and then Dorrans in front of him? Would you go back to the Diamond?
Oh, you know,
Diamond
you know Diamonds are forever, Fox, you know.
I think you're going to find yourself, shall we say,
you play the
losing,
Diamond with the two
you lose some
men.
players. You know, you'll start to lose some players. Candace and Murphy may be the victims in that. You know, if you go to Diamond. The last time we played a Diamond with Candace in it, I'm afraid it didn't work. The Diamond broke up so many times. But I think the four that you've mentioned in midfield would in fact be, well, I would suggest we give it a try and see how it goes, but it means the victims in that are Candace, in my opinion, Candace and Murphy. You agree with that, Fox?
Aye,
would that would make it a 4-4-2, and then you would have Cummings and Morales up front, Fox? Is that what you're saying?
I'd do that as well. I'd do that as well.
I still think we need the three in the midfield, mate, and McCrory. As I say, in the diamond shape, we would lose out in the wingers. But we could always change shape at any time, mate, and be using substitution and bring on the wingers. Most people would be disappointed, though, that if Candace and Murphy have been relatively good for us, the most consistent players, I think, that since these came in January. So it would be a blow to them. I don't know if Murphy would change it now. So what would that make it then? A 4-1-2-1-2? And you could have Cummings on, mate. You know?
Say that again, Fox. I mean, Ibrox, count how many players he's got.
4-1-2-1-2.
How many's at Ibrox?
If he says 67%, I'm just hanging up.
Look, it's just, to me, it's just a 4-4-2, but you're using the four across the midfield, but you're changing that to a diamond formation. So what Fox is saying is absolutely right, because you had a standard defensive mid. You'd have your two midfielders and your point of your diamond, which would be Dorrans. I like Dorrans playing behind the strikers. I like he's played there twice for us, and he's probably the only one at that time. He was the only one who was actually capable of having a shot, and because that's the way we were so poor at that time. I think that was during the time that Morelos went through 10 games and never scored a goal. You know. For me, and I'll go to Ibrox for this point. For me, Jamie Murphy's got to be in our team, mate.
Oh,
he's
our most intelligent football player for me. On form, his stats must be pretty good, and maybe Ibrox will check them out once he's finished commenting. He's scored a few goals now, coming for that wide position. He's made goals. He's helped out defensively. For me, he's been a hit. And I think the trouble with the diamond is, unless you play Jamie Murphy where people want to play Cummings, he's not on the pitch, and I think that weakens our team. Ibrox?
I totally agree with what you're saying there, mate. Jamie Murphy is one of our most important players now. He's a mainstay. The only change for me, mate, for this coming weekend, we know that Windass is probably going to boot now. Let's be honest with that, with the injury he picked up at the weekend. So that, for me, brings straight in young McCrory into central defensive midfield. So then your team is basically Big Wes, Tavernier, Alves, Martin, DJ, Then you've got, obviously, young McCrory. Then you'll have your Jamie Murphy. Then you'll have... Graham Dorrans, Docherty and Candias, with obviously Morales or Alfredo up front as cellmate. That's the way I look at it. So it's only one change. But I know with the Graham Dorrans situation, he can kind of float between like a two in the midfield, as well as try to play the Windass role once we're attacking. But he slips back into a two beside Docherty again when we're more defensive. And with McCrory being in there as well, that stops us for conceding the silly goals, and that makes me think that we should get a very comfortable win at the weekend coming. So,
I think, the way we're speaking, it does get a bit confusing because we do have what we would classify as essential. So one of the essential players at the moment is Jamie Murphy, who loves playing out wide left and comes in beautifully and sometimes gets the run of the pitch when he does it. He comes beautifully and he has a shot at goal and he lays lovely balls off. And I want to see personally, this is me personally, I want to see Cummings playing beside Morelos up front. That way it'll give both of them a chance. To me, a guy who gets the ball breaks off him, and you've got a guy who sniffs around looking for chances. That's the way I would like to see them play. We can only try it out and see how it works. If it works for us, brilliant. If it doesn't, then it's back to the drawing board. But it has to work for us. It just has to work for us. I can't see us taking the wide players out. They're the most successful part of our game, playing up the wings. We would have to actually transform.
I think, Bridge, and this is only an opinion and an observation, and people might see it slightly different. But some of the problems that has been caused is we've had to make sure that my four wide men are playing in every game.
That's correct. That's what I'm trying to say. We end up with, shall we say, victims of our own success to a certain extent, and we become prisoners to the way we've been playing. And all of the players that we've got could fit into this wide play concept. And you're left with two guys in the midfield, Docherty, and against Motherwell it was a Docherty and a Dorrans, and they were getting overrun at times. And that's what's going to happen. Now, if you're going to still play wide and you want McCrory in, so you're going to play McCrory in all probability and Docherty, right? Or are you going to play McCrory and Dorrans? Because you still need your numbers don't add up, and it's really difficult to think how you're going to play. So you're basically going to go a 4-4-2, but you can change it. You can move any two you want. However, you've got two wide players, which is Murphy and Candias. They're the main ones as far as I'm concerned. And then you've got a choice of a number of one. If you're saying we're desperate to get Docherty, the boy come back in, Ross McCrory come back in and shore up the defensive part, you're going to be left with one person as standard in the midfield. Very difficult, very difficult.
Oxford says you wanted the Jamie Murphy goals, mate. Is Ox still there? I'll just give you the stats for Jamie Murphy.
Yeah, on you go, mate. On you go. Sorry.
No, you're all right. He's had 3 goals, 4 assists in the actual league, so that's basically a goal every 296 minutes. And in the Scottish Cup, he's had 1 goal, 2 assists, and that's basically a goal every 102 minutes in the Scottish Cup.
Is that how he scored 4 goals for us?
Well, that's what the stats I'm going for this season, aye.
Well, I thought he scored more than that, because a double against Hamilton.
I'll double check here, mate, but that's with a stats page that I'm going with, the SPFL stat page.
Well, mate, I'll just check it, mate, and make sure. But
unless I'm not keeping up to date with our stats on the SPFL page, but that's where I'm getting my stats.
Let me just check. I'll go to alphabetical order. Murphy. Right, Jamie Murphy. But he's gave us a threat for me, Fox, not just goals. He's made goals and scored goals, so he's been a success. So I think he's going to be playing for me. I don't know what you think.
I just think we need to try something different, mate. All teams that play against us know that our threat comes down the wings, And once you've got Graham Dorrans, I would prefer if it was going to be two in the middle, mate, it would be Goss and Dorrans, mate, rather than Goss and the young boy Docherty. I think the games have passed him by in the last few, and I think Goss adds a wee bit of creativity, as does Dorrans. And if we're going to play two up front, you need somebody to supply the ammunition. And as we know, crosses for left and right aren't working just now. We keep hitting the first defender and the ball's no getting into the centre of the goal, mate. I think we should come through the middle, Ibrox at home this time, rather than trying to force our play down the wings, which Dundee will be expecting us to do, mate, you know.
I accept that point. I think that's a great point about being predictable and having a problem with Ibrox. But what about taking one of the fullbacks out? Going with three, getting Merwood,
please.
Murphy and Tavernier, and then roughly having the same, the team the same, because you're playing at Ibrox, and then McCrory could make the three, and then you have the rest of them being your attacking players, because they're not going to play with 2 or 3 up front, are they? Well,
they played with 2 up front against the Tims last night.
So
mate,
you play with 3, 2, 1 mark and 1 spare. That's the way I would do it, Bridgman.
Oh, that's, you know my feelings about this is 3-5-2 every day of the week at Ibrox. 3-5-2. I think we need, as a club, we need to get the players in that would be able to, shall we say, we'd be able to swap them out at home games and away games. And obviously, sometimes you'll be able to play the same team, but other times you're going to have to change it and be a bit more defensive, a bit more rugged, go a strict 4-4-2, blah blah blah, you know, and hope to win your games off of that. It'd be great. I'd love a 3-5-2 at Ibrox. I think there's a lot of folk would like to see it as well, but we need the good personnel and we need to be on form to do it.
There's one way you fit them all in, mate. You fit them all in if you play a 4-5-1. That's the thing, you know. But people are wanting to see the partnership of Morelos and Cummings up front to see if it works. But if you were picking a team against the Tims in the semi-final, mate, I'd be going 4-5-1 where we can fit McCrory, either Docherty, Goss and Dorrans into the midfield. Plus, you would still have your attacking fullbacks and Murphy and Candias on the wings. I think out of all the systems that's left open to us, mate, 4-5-1 sounds the strongest for the squad players that we've got.
Next week or this week, Fox?
Well, if you're going to play it next week, I'd be trying it out on Saturday, mate, because it's got all the options of attacking and defending, mate, you know.
Ibrox are right, 4 goals he scored.
I thought he scored a lot more than that as well, mate, to be honest.
4 goals. He scored 3 weeks in a trot, he scored.
Mm-hmm.
And then he obviously scored on Saturday. 4 goals in 12 games, 11 starts, 1 as sub. So it's not bad for you, I guess.
Still a very creative player, mate. Very all-rounded, mate, and just when he gets on his head, he's got a good few tricks in his bag as well, which can bamboozle defences at times. But for me, as long as he's 100% fit, he's in that starting team every single day of the week for me.
That's a yes for me. Anyway, Fox, if people want to join us, what's the number?
0141 356 1972.
All right. Or you can join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online, where you'll be brought into the call and you can talk about all things Rangers. So, just quickly, who thinks McCrory will start on Saturday? Ibrox?
Yes, for me.
Do you think he'll start or do you want him to start?
Both.
All right, okay. Bridgman?
Yeah, I have to agree with him. I think he'll start. That's what I do. I think he'll start. He's shall we say, he's a white hope at the moment, a great white hope at the moment, if I excuse the term, but that's basically it. He's our great white hope at the moment.
Fox?
I think he's got to start, mate, because we're going to need him for the Tims game, mate, so get the game time into the boy, and he must start for me.
I don't like to say this, but I agree with you. I think he'll start on Saturday. I think he'll start because of the game the following week. I believe if we didn't have that game, he might be on the bench. But I think he'll start and we'll see where it takes us, and I hope it works out for the boy. I'm still disappointed with that statement that he was playing through an injury and sort of, it sounded as if he was monitoring himself. I don't know if he's maybe not put it across right in the interview, but if that was the case, that gives me real cause for concerns. Bridgeman.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the club's got to get itself sorted out. They come out with some marvellous statements, and what they want to make sure the players are okay, and it's over to the medical staff. The manager doesn't have much to say. The medical staff are saying this, but if they're in any way, shape or form letting the player make his mind up on such a serious situation, which ended up how long was out? 6 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that. You know, it just
it was before the new year, so he's no playing.
Well, there you go. So 12 weeks. Well, remember 3 weeks of that was in holiday time.
I know, but it's about 13 weeks he's been out for, and then obviously you've got the weeks that he was there was no games. But I mean, it looks as if he's also maybe potentially played through it on his own faults and maybe just no cracked the light, thinking it's going to be all right when he gets to the winter break. And hopefully there's a learning curve in it for him.
Aye, well, it's typical of a young man just getting into the side, mate. You're going to think that you can run injuries off when they first happen. You think you're all right, you start games, and the second state of think like that. And third thing is you end up with a long-term injury because you've done the first two, mate. He's got to learn that when he's got injuries, you don't hide them. Bring it out right away. And as I said, he could have been back in action long before he was, mate.
Ibrox, you know, with your knees.
It's... Here we go, this one again. Ready for the lobby to light up here. But, no, it is, if you've got an injury, the medical staff will know about it, mate. I don't think they've no monitored that correctly. I think he's maybe just... Young McCrory's maybe not put it across too well in the interview, because I think we've got one of the best club doctors and probably UK football. He's been raised since 1997, season 98. He knows his stuff, mate. And I don't think if he sees Etna picks up netting, he's going to deal with it straight away. So, I think he just maybe not put it across too well in the interview, but there's no chance he's monitoring himself. That'll get picked up on very easily by anybody that knows anything about the medical field. So,
well, it's been picked up here for a start. So I'm sure there are other
understand
people.
That. I'm just saying.
I'm saying that there will be other people who will be asking questions as to why he said these things. Is there any truth in it? And if there is, can we get it resolved one way or another? You can't have that. You know, it's got to be sorted by the medical staff.
Yeah. No, I think
I'll ask another question before we move on. Do you think Doherty should be rested?
I thought Doherty worked very hard on Saturday, but didn't influence the match much. I thought he was poor against Kilmarnock, but he looks as if he's one of these guys that's going to give you a shift even when he's poor. I thought he'd done very well, considering it was his old firm debut for his age and his experience, and obviously the adrenaline. I thought he was a bit unlucky in that game, being the losing side. Him and Goss in the first half were outnumbered, and we still managed to create. So it's a call it's a 50-50 call, mate. And I think if the boy get took out, who would you bring in, Goss, Fox?
I think Goss presents the better threat, mate.
Mm-hmm.
He's controlling the balls better. He's also capable of shooting from outside the box, just like Dorn. I think it's been missing for your game. We try to create the perfect goal with wee 1-2s, etc. When sometimes a strike from outside the box, maybe you'll get the goal out of it. Maybe you'll get the keeper parrying it and chances for Morelos. because he's quick off the mark, looking for rebounds. Whether he puts them in or no is a different thing, but he's quick to the ball. And it's a thing we don't do, mate. We don't shoot from outside the box, and it's a thing we need to start doing. He's also a threat with free kicks as well, as we've seen, you know.
And he's got delivery for set pieces as well,
Yep.
You know, but I don't want to start casting suspicions on the boy Doherty, mate, because he looks as if he's got potential and all, you know.
I don't think he's an end. I just think that it's taken him a wee bit longer than we maybe thought to fit into the team. I said when he came into the side, I wished we'll not see the best of him next season. I still believe that. And I just think that Goss and Dorans bring more creativity to the side.
But weren't we saying that young Goss had started to sort of lose a bit of impetus, maybe getting sort of, shall we say, out-muscled? Because that's what was happening to him, wasn't it? He found himself.
That's why you're bringing McCrory in to shore it up defensively in the midfield as well. Goss is very good, going forward and controlling.
Oh, he's a fantastic player, of course, and he's showed he can play football.
I don't think our side can afford to do without creative players for me.
So what we're saying then is that we've got Dorans and we've got Goss. Now, to me, they're creative players. You've got defensive players in Greg Doherty and Ross McCrory. So on Saturday, you're going to keep the two wide men, or are you going to put them out of the squad?
Well, I'm not picking the team, but obviously, to bring McCrory in, I would take what do you call? God, his name slipped in my head again. That young boy. What if Hamill?
Doherty.
Doherty. I would take Doherty out, put him on the bench, mate, and I'd have McCrory sitting. Goss is a natural left footer, and Dorans beside him, mate, would do for me. I think that looks quite a strong midfield, balanced midfield, creative going forward, solid, a more solid defensive looking three when we're under any pressure, if we are under pressure against Dundee. I mean, in the game against the Tims, mate, they were only up the park about 3 or 4 times. So we can afford to have creative players in the midfield here, because they're going to sit in with a lot of men behind the ball. That's how I think it's going to be vital on Saturday, that we can strike the ball outside the box.
Can I ask a question, Fox? See, obviously you're saying maybe taking young Doc and giving him a rest, and obviously bringing young McCrory back in. Who then do you bring in for Josh Windass? Because the injury he picked up at the weekend means that he's going to boot. I'd imagine he'd boot for about 2 or 3 weeks. But as I said, I don't know that for a fact yet, because we've not had any managers or players interviews yet.
Well, I'm just saying that's my 3 for the midfield. Whether Mr. Murty will stick with the 4-3-3 with Morelos up front and Candias and Murphy on the wings. You know, I'm just saying the central midfield is very important for us now, and it's not been producing in the last 3 games of midfield, so I would say a change is needed in there. Anyway, we've been joined by Big George.
Evening, George. On stereo there. How we doing, George?
How you doing, boys? All right?
All right, mate. What's on your mind, mate? How are you?
I'm all right, aye. Just what you were talking about the Aerox, getting you on the team or this in a conversation, but I would like to think that it's just a case of bringing Goss back into the team and putting Dorans in behind the strikers. I think his natural position, in my honest opinion, I don't think he's ever really had the chance of playing his end position. A wee bit behind with Andy Halliday. Andy Halliday was put as a sitting midfielder and was never a sitting midfielder. It was sort of just put to the swords a wee bit with the Rangers fans. I wouldn't like that to happen to be Dorans, because he's a good player. I think Doherty can be in there mixing things up, and I think Goss can come in on Saturday and replace him. I don't think we're in a position now, Ox, in my honest opinion, for to bring in Dorrans, who's no played for I don't know what, 4 months, I don't know how long, I can't even tell you, 5-6 months, something like that. I don't know what he's not played for, and bring in McCrory, who's not played for a few weeks, and just put the two of them in the midfield. I think that would leave us a bit short, on my honest opinion. I think if McCrory's anywhere near fitness at all, or maybe bring him on the second half or early in the second half to give him a bit of time. You can see folks thinking about wanting him for the Celtic game, but I don't think our squad's capable of holding the two guys, covering for the two guys basically, Oxken, and I think we'll just go with Goss coming in the midfield and pushing Dorrans forward to his natural position.
That's a good point of view, George. Struggle to argue with it. It's just got a funny feeling McCrory's going to be playing, but nothing to back it up. Bridgeman?
Yeah, again, great suggestions. And just amazing, isn't it, how we see things similar, and in between that there's slight differences, you know. I'm, shall we say, the way I view it, our strengths and the way it's been built, the way our team's been built, is all about wide play. And in the left wing, you've got your young, what do you call him, young boy, God Almighty, Declan John and Murphy playing, and they two are actually playing very well. And of course, you know who's on the right. I still see us only having two spaces in the midfield. That's all I see us having. And you're going to, at the present moment, we're screaming for McCrory to come back. Well, screaming, but you know what I mean. We think he should get back, so he's going to be a defensive midfielder. And then you're only going to be left with one, which would probably be Dorrans. And how do we tie it all up? That's the question I've got to ask. If we're going to have to change the whole philosophy of the game to bring in some of these players and play them differently. If we go for a diamond, then I'm afraid your two wide players can't play in a diamond. Like we're saying things again that we said earlier. But it's fascinating. I find the whole thing fascinating. I don't know if Rangers have got the players that would confidently go out there and strut their stuff and play any formation we want. I don't know if we've got them. But my God, it's going to be marvellous trying it. It really is.
George, I don't know if you heard Fox talk about the diamond and something, and he's took Murphy out the starting 11. What's your thoughts on that, mate?
I wouldn't take Murphy out the starting 11. A lot of folk think he set the hair on fire, but I honestly think he's been a cracking player for his coming on again. No, I definitely wouldn't take him out there. I wouldn't take any of the wingers. A lot of folk has also had a wee bit of a grump and moan about Candias at times. He's either top his game or he's never to be seen, but I think I would play the two of them. I think the two of them have got to be in the team. If McCrory's got to come in, McCrory will go in the sitting midfield position and in place where I was saying Goss would come in, so it would be McCrory in front of the defenders, his best position in my honest opinion. The two wide guys, and then you would have what do you call him, the wee boy Docherty. Docherty just in front of McCrory, and that would be like your three in the midfield, and then top of the diamond as you would, that would be Dorrans for me, and then your striker. I mean, ideally, I would like to see, in my honest opinion, I would like to see Dorrans dropped as well, and go with two strikers, but it's not going to happen. But that's where I would, if it was my team, I would go with the same team, but I would just put Dorrans on the bench as well and go with two strikers. So it would be still a 4-4-2, but a 4-1-3-2. That'd be the way I would do it. But that's not going to happen. It's got to be the same formation, and there's a good chance of these guys that are just coming away from injury will probably come into the team. But I just think that's right. I didn't think if you're coming off, if you're a winning team, Ox, I think it's different. Coming off your winning games and you're playing well and things like that, I think that's different. Bringing these guys in, your confidence up and things like that. But I mean, you're bringing Dorrans in and McCrory into midfield. Young Docherty, who's just came to the club, a lot of weight in his shoulders still at the moment. In my opinion, I agree with Fox says. He's probably a good 6 months away from being anywhere near can play with one maybe. So from my honest opinion, I think if you bring these two guys in, you're putting even more pressure on him to do maybe a job, and I can't see us doing that. Like, I would just like to them coming into a winning team. It's a lot easier to come into a winning team than it is for them to come into a team where.
To face people into a winning team's a lot easier. You know, you have natural changes.
I mean, Dundee are no mugs, Ox. And no teams are no mugs to Rangers. We're no great team now, and that's the bottom line, Ox. We're not getting set up right and things like that. So, I mean, Motherwell showed that on Saturday. If Motherwell has scored another goal, it's easy to say if, but maybe if Motherwell has scored another goal nearly in the second half, I mean, our game was doomed. So, we got 2 goals, well done, came back into the game. We should have probably won the game, but Dundee will be an easy game on Saturday, Ox.
And obviously, they're fighting for points as well. They could easily get pulled into it, and obviously they got a draw last night against the club TikTok. You know, so we'll see what it takes us. But I agree with you, and I don't like to say it, Fox. I feel like Frank Skinner, room 101, mate. Can't see the diamond being done at Ibrox, and I think Murphy's got to start for me. Should we ask a lobby, Fox?
Ask him if you like, mate. Sure they've got an opinion. I don't know why George wants to tap Dorns. He gets through the 90 minutes very well. Had a kind of sticky start, but for me, Dorns grew into the game at Motherwell, and I think he showed that he's fit enough to play 90 minutes, and I think we'll get the same sort of industry out McCrory, mate. I don't think there's a great fear of bringing McCrory in at all.
Only time will tell. Well, lads, we've came roughly to that time of the evening. If you don't mind going on mute, we're going to have a tune through our Fox.
I'm going to try a new one out. Don't shout at me. I don't know what like it's going to be, but here we go. There we go. That
wasn't bad, mate. That was definitely for True Blue, wasn't it?
What a load of rubbish.
That was Skipper's Skiffle Band, mate. Just to let you know.
Oh dear. Maybe I'm just too young for you, Fox. But did you enjoy it, George?
I'll get you a CD. Hopefully next week I'll get you a CD of my band playing. You'll be able to play a few tunes after that.
Oh, George, it couldn't have been worse than that. That was awful. That was rubbish, Fox. Rubbish.
You let yourself down there, Fox.
I didn't think so.
You should apologise to all the listeners. That was terrible.
Oh boy, Foxy, you're getting it right as a sin, you know.
What was it called, Fox, that one?
That was the Orns Banjo Band and the Thornley Bank Accordion Band, I think it was.
That's easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say.
You know, Foxy, there we've been talking earlier on just at the change, how we like to make changes, like to see this changing, this happening. And there you go, you make a change and you play a different type of tune, and the Bears here are up in arms against you. That's terrible. I don't mean terrible for you, it's terrible for them. Attitude towards us.
Just out of curiosity, Fox, is the machine finish your smalls?
Oh, don't talk. I'm telling you, I've got a poltergeist in that washing machine, mate. I'm expecting to open the door one day and get sucked into a subcontinent world somewhere, mate. What happened today was an absolute nightmare. I switched it on that started washing before I could get the washing in it, mate. It was unbelievable.
It's echo washes. You don't need to use any soap powder.
Yeah, honest to God, I just switched it on for the mains and I heard the water pouring in there and I go, oh God, here we go.
I know it wasn't funny for you, Fox, but...
Anyway, we're going to move on and we're going to talk about where we're gone, how you see us, what job the boardroom have got to go. But if people want to join us, what's the number, Ibrox?
It's 0141 356 1972.
Or you can join us where, Fox?
On Skype at RangersRadio.online.
What can you talk about, George?
Foxy Smalls or anything Rangers.
Yeah, my washing machine. If there's any ladies out there that can put me right with this washing machine, it'll be much appreciated.
Here we go again.
Stormy Daniels time. Stormy Daniels time.
Come on, you. Get a grip.
Oh, mate, you've no idea, Bridge, with it. I
do apologise for my rudeness.
I bought this washing machine a couple of months ago and I've got about 4 washings done in it in that time, mate. I've just had to throw my clothes out after it.
Oh, my God.
What was it when you first got it? You said they'd been washing for about 5 years?
It's one of these eco machines. It just washes and washes and washes and washes. And if you're lucky enough to get the stuff in it before it starts, you're doing well.
Oh dear. George, 3 forms, we're at the road, we'll get 3 turns to make. The team, the manager and the board for the investment, and I think a lot of that comes under the remit of the board. They've got to pick the right manager to improve the team, and then they need investment to do a lot. We're at a crossroads, which we have been a lot, and sometimes we've had a wee step back, but ultimately we've always went forward in the last couple of years. Are we waiting patiently for some news and things are going to move on? I think we need a new manager, and I think the club should be starting to do their due diligence on it if they've not already done it. So we're ready to act and we're not waiting till July. George?
I'd be really disappointed, Ox, if they're not already. I said that the other night there. At least halfway down the decision process. I would like to think, are we getting a new manager? That's definitely well and truly decided. I would like to think so. I would like to think that they've had maybe 6 or 7, even 10 candidates. They've had them in, they've spoke to them, where the clubs want to go, where they see the club going. They've whittled it down to 4 or 5. I would like to think they're that far down. And that's why I said the other night there about these guys that are now getting sacked down in England. Alan Pardew and these guys that are getting the sack down in England. I would like to think they're nowhere near our club, Ox, because I would like to think that the guys, and again I says, there will be managers like Fox's one, Neil Warnock and that. There's guys like that who maybe, I don't know, have spoke to the club, but I would like to think our club's well down the line deciding who our next manager is going to be. I didn't think it should be a discussion. I mean, do you think it should even be a discussion whether we're getting a new manager or no? I think that should be well and truly decided now. And again, you said the other night there, we possibly need 7 starters. I didn't think we needed as many as that, but I think the that the board and Mark Allen done in the winter, even though a lot of folk ken it's loan signings and that, I think it would surprise a lot of us. So they were obviously going for it in January, and they were backing Keane, Mark Allen, the players they wanted to bring in, and they went and done that. So I would like to think that there's money there to be spent, and we're going to get a new manager, and it's quite far down the line to actually happening and getting decided.
Wow.
Just changing the subject slightly. I know no connection with your club, but he was a sporting legend. I've just been informed by the news sound that Eric Bristow has passed away.
Yeah, I just heard that myself.
I just heard that as well.
60-year-old. My God, 60-year-old and then 61-year-old Ray Wilkins. My God, what's the world coming to? What's the world coming to?
Mental. Anyway, George, I think if we don't get a new manager, as much as I don't dislike Graham Murray as a person or he comes across, I can't see him taking this forward, in my opinion. Fox.
Well, you're asking me, and you know I was a supporter of Murty, but the more it goes on, the more it looks like we do need an experienced manager. I'm willing to concede that. Who it will be, I don't know, and I don't think at this time the board know either. That's my opinion on it, mate.
Oh, that's a worry. Bridgman?
Wow, you know, I'm listening to yourself and George there are quite confident that things are in the pipeline and going to happen. Foxy is a wee bit negative on it. I don't mean he means to be negative. I think he doesn't see it happening. And I read something in Follow today. One of the guys thinks that we may end up with Mr. Murty for next season as well. So there's worrying signs around. But let's hope that you two guys, yourself and George, are correct and you're more positive outlook and it's going to happen for Rangers. Because, wow, just wow. If we don't do it in this close season, just wow. We'll never catch them, by the way. We'll never catch them if we don't do that now.
I'm another one who is, before the last Old Firm match, fully behind Mr. Murty. But the last three games have just unfortunately swung it against him. And I think there will be a new manager in place. If not, if we don't hear anything before the summer, I think it will be done before we break for the summer. We'll have a new manager. But whether we hear about it until, I don't know when exactly we'll hear it, whether it's June, July, whatever. But I think, as you guys says, it's in the pipeline and hopefully hear something sooner rather than later to appease the fans, especially with season ticket renewals and everything else about to come out anytime soon. So.
Oops, I was on mute there, Dana Bridge. All right, so we'll ask the lobby, George, get the opinions. Ibrox, get the old abacus ready, mate.
Right.
Well, it's simple. By June, will we have a new manager? Yes or no? Yes or no? And I think it's sort of maybe 4-1 round the panel. We'll just ask quickly, and I'll go to George first. George?
I think it's. I think definitely 100%. By June, we'll definitely have a new manager.
Ridge?
I have to say yes. I do think so. I think it's desperate. Things are getting desperate. Managerially speaking, it's getting desperate. But it's going to take a miracle for this lad to, in my opinion, to be still our manager at the end of the season and possibly start the next season. I think by miracle.
Fox?
I think there's possibilities we'll have a new manager, but I don't see him coming in later on in the summer. If it's somebody that's in a job, mate, they'll be looking for a break before they come to Ibrox. So I don't think there'll be a manager in time for the European campaign if we qualify, mate.
Well, I don't like that, Fox. I don't think that's good, mate.
But that's the facts. If it was somebody who was unemployed, he'd be already in the club, mate. Because of recent results And if it is a manager that is in employment, mate, and he goes to the end of say it was an English manager, the end of their league, mate, he'll want a break before he comes to Ibrox. So we'll be well into June, mate. You know. I just don't see it happening in time for the European campaign if we have one, because it starts too early.
All right, okay, I get where you're coming from, but I actually hope you're wrong, mate, if that makes sense.
I hope I'm wrong as well, mate.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Obviously, right. we're in no rush. I mean, we're chairman's out caddying at the golf, mate, so there's no immediate rush for anything at the moment.
I love it, man.
Unless Gary players think they're investing in Rangers, mate, so we don't know.
Foxy, what you like? I love it.
How's it down in the lobby, Ibrox?
Well, there's 3 no's with about between 17 and 20 guesses for what I can gather, so I'm going to say about 95%. I could be wrong, I've been wrong before, but
when?
What I can see. Oh, many times, many times, mate. many times.
All right,
I think
get
I've been
better.
more wrong than right, put it that way.
Yeah, we'll give you that one. You're not quite there, but we'll give you that one.
Well, a percentage point off here or there, mate. What's a percentage point between friends, come on?
Who told you we were friends?
Well... I'm guessing, mate. Again, I'm guessing.
Of course we are, mate. Of course we are. Aye. All right, so most people think we'll have a new manager in June. All right, George, so that's the board's remit again. So the board's got to get the funding to get the manager for the players. When are we going to hear about that? George Wednesday's going to move for that, because it is getting... It's getting frustrating because we're not getting the results, if that makes any sense, yeah?
We just need something else, that's what you're saying. We just need... Okay, we're not getting the results on the park, we're not getting the wins, so we just need something to get us out this wee muddle we're in the new sort of thing. And the board can do that with, like you say, coming out with a wee bit of finance or a wee name or a few names came, we're working on this, we're working on that. We've had folk in, just that wee glimmer of light. And the Rangers fans would be right up again. So, no, I think we'll do. I trust the board, Hawks. Ken, I might be a wee bit silly in saying that, but I actually do trust the board. I think they've done no too bad since they've come in. They're fighting fires. Might still be fighting fires, but they were fighting fires for a few years. Things that people didn't even realise were going on, and they were doing that. Point where they're bringing in the manager they brought in was anything decent, but they tried that. They tried something different, never worked out. They got rid of him. I would just like to think that if they can, but the thing I'm thinking about is if our managers at the World Cup, now see, a lot of folk will not like this, but see European football for me next season, Ox, doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't, Ox. I think we've got to get our bread and butter sorted out first. I can't go another season no beating Hibs in the league, and a lot of folk will be like, that's stupid. No beating Aberdeen and no beating Aberdeen at home and no beating that lot over there. I want to start doing that first, and then see when we get into the Champions League, that's when I want to enter into the UEFA Cup and we can be proud to be there and say, Ken son, we've got a team willing to stand up. I didn't want to go against teams like Gibraltar and daft things like that. So I want to get a club in order first in Scotland and then go ahead. So see if our manager was to be at the World Cup, or like Fox is saying, go to the last part of the playoffs of the Championship or something like that, and he's kind of really late and coming in, it won't bother me. As long as we get the right guy coming into our club, it won't bother me when he comes in, as long as we get the right guy, because I think our fans have suffered enough, especially this last year with that Pedro. I think that was just shocking, terrible.
It was a mistake, George. I didn't fancy him for day one, mate. I've got to be honest with you. But it's... Whereas Murty gave us, you could see shoots where he was taking us, and that Pedro I just thought was an unmitigated bad move. You know, there was no reason for it. I don't see the plus. People will tell you he done exactly what he said in the tin. He brought in the Portuguese centre half. He brought in players from Mexico. He done everything they said he would do. Oh, they were successful.
But that should work, Ox, eh? I mean, bringing in, me and Bridgman spoke about this. Bringing in a guy like Bruno Alves that's done the things that Bruno Alves has done in football should be able to come into Scottish football and take a game. I mean, that should just work. It just never worked off. So move on. It's as simple as that. But that should work. Things like that should work. But then again, it's so if buts and maybes. It never worked. We've moved on. So it's time to look for a new manager.
Yep. And how do we get the board? Another thing they've got to do, Bridgeman, they've got to look to get the investment in. We've talked about the strips, we've talked about sponsorships, we're talking about season tickets, but they've got a responsibility to get investment into the club, and we're not hearing them, none that, neither, and that gives me concerns. I was hoping you'd be picking up the tidbits, you know.
Well, we have to be honest, and everything will be curtailed until such time as this share offer, you know, the mandatory offer is completed. I don't know when it's going to happen, but that's got to be completed first and boxes ticked, and only then you'll get the share issue, and that's when they say investment will come in, or so they reckon anyway. But what kind of investment is going to come in, I've got absolutely no idea. You might find some of the big existing shareholders just sell their shares to Mr. What do you call it, Mr. King, and the group just to get rid of them and get some money back. Because when the share issue comes in, whomever they are, let's say it's these deals, their shares are going to be diluted, maybe by 50%. You know, so they might say, "Well, I just want give me that whatever money's left, I'll take that and go." Now that's the worst case scenario, but that needs to be done. All of that needs to be done. We need to get everything done legal, everything done, boxes ticked. Right, that's that settled. Next step, share issue. Then we might see how much investment's going to come in. That's the only time we're going to see it, pal.
What makes you think the Eastdales will sell their investment, mate?
No. I don't think that they will. I don't think any of the kind. I'm saying you might find that people possibly like the Eastdales, but simply because they're easy to remember, they may cut and run because they're on maybe one of the groups. You know, the Resolution 11 that said they can select who they want to sell shares to and who they're going to allow to repurchase shares. So they might, for instance, I'm a shareholder, they might send me a letter saying, would you like to reinvest in Rangers? So your share's worth is £10. Send me another £10 and that will retain the value of your shares, or words to that effect.
If they'd done that monthly, Bridge, we could just send your wages.
yeah, but you know what I mean. But let's say these deals are picked on insofar as they don't want to give them the opportunity. Then therefore they're going to, whatever the share issue is, let's say it's a 100% take up, then it'll devalue their shares by half. Simple as that. And they might say, well, we're not going to take that. Simple. So I don't know.
I'm just asking. I'm not sticking up for the Eastdales, mate. They were targeted in the takeover by the King board, mate. I'm not a supporter of the Eastdales, but as far as I remember, at the time they were the only people to take no money out of the club, and they also loaned the company then money
absolutely.
to keep the lights on.
Of course.
And I think they were in there for the long-term investment, mate. And I also think they just picked the wrong side. If they were to come in now, there wouldn't be. If they'd have come in their first time in had been now, I don't think there'd have been the stramash that went on round about the Eastdales. And I think Dave King, when he came in, stated that they had done nothing wrong. And it was just
I don't know if anyone did anything wrong.
Campaign against the Eastdales because they were easy to get to up here. That's my opinion, eh?
Yeah, I'm not dead sure whether anybody's got any bitch about these deals. I'm just using their name as an example, as that they were one of the groups that held a number of shares. At one point, they were the spokespeople for 26% of the shares. That's all I'm saying. That whomever held the big blocks of shares, some of them may not be wanted. Or they might want to force them out and maybe want to buy their shares off them. I don't know what the board want. But being the mandatory purchaser, the mandatory offer to take the shares may be taken up by a number of people who think, well, we're not going to be allowed to be part of the new share issue, and therefore our shares, existing shares, will be diluted. So if they've got £1 million worth of shares in Rangers, the possibility is those shares might only be worth £500,000 because they've been diluted by 50%. Now they might just take his money and say, right, yeah, thank you very much. At least we'll cut and run. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. All I'm saying is there are some who could do it for a whole variety of reasons. One for badness, yeah, to make sure King actually pays some money out, and in case he thinks he's going to get an easy ride, we'll make it happen, and so on and so forth. I don't know, but we'll see what happens, innit?
Right, go ahead, George.
You see, on that one, folks, I agree with what you're saying, by the way, folks, but I would like to think that you're raising these deals, for example, right, so we'll stick with these deals. Let's say the board go to these deals and say, look, I would like to think that if these deals can see, or that block anyway, these deals block, I think I don't know what percentage it is now. Is it 21% that they're at, folks? Is that right? These deals
Well, the Margarita mob and that are getting tied into these deals. You need to remember, I'm only doing this through memory, mate, was they happen to be they get allotted to be spokesmen for that other group. It didn't mean they were part of them, mate.
No, that's right. So that's what I'm saying. I think they're 21%. I'm sure it was 21% the last time I checked, folks, that they were sort of the spokesperson for, as you say, for that wee group. I'm sure it was 21 or 27. One of them.
I think it was 26%, George, but they're not going to argue. It's obvious to say they were there. They were leaders.
So let's say our board goes and speak to them and say, can we buy your shares? I would like to think that if you're saying these deals were, they were sort of made to be the bad guys, folks. If they're one of the bad guys that were, let's say they turn around and say to the board, well, what's your idea? What you got to do with this club? And if they like that, I would like to think they're going to sell them. Because I can't imagine these deals ever coming back onto the board and anything like that, folks. So I would like to think if your board goes to any one of these shareholders and say, this is your idea for the club, this is where we want to go, I would like to think that if they want the best for the club, they'll sell the shares. And a lot of people seem to think that they did want the best for the club. So I would like to think they would do that.
They might also reinvest, George.
No, but there's a mandatory offer going out to all shareholders. All I'm saying is there could be a multiple amount of reasons why people would want to share, to sell, and there's a whole variety of people like myself who will never sell their shares. No matter what, they're not going to sell their shares. So Mr. King can send me a letter, 10 letters, 20 letters. No, I'm not selling my shares. Done. And he knows that. He knows there are many who will do that. But he also knows because they wanted Resolution 11, and Resolution 11 was voted out two AGMs in a row. It was voted down for a purpose because people didn't trust the board and they thought the board were going to target certain people or certain groups who hold large shareholdings. And that's possibly what it is. So I don't know, but let's assume that they were going to do that and the people who own these shares know they were going to do that and they were never going to be allowed to be part of a share issue. So if you're not allowed to be part of a share issue, all the good stuff's happening all outside you. You may take the opportunity and say, well, I'll just sell them. Simple. I have to remember, of course, please, guys, this wasn't supposed to happen. Dave King wasn't supposed to be having to forced to put a mandatory offer in. You know what I mean? It was all supposed to be smooth. He's got a Resolution 11. Right, let's do a share issue based on what we know.
But the thing is, mate, he's been forced to do it with top. Why didn't he buy out? Why didn't Dave King and the Three Bears buy out these deals completely out again, mate?
Oh, I don't know, pal. I don't know whether they made a wee miscalculation in the amount of shares that they had. I don't know what the rules and regulations are legally speaking. I wish Mount Vernon was here. He probably knows this, or say another knows it. Let's say it's 31%. So if you get 31% of the shares, then by law, by company law, you have to make the offer to purchase the shares for the same price that you just purchased yours. So the last time, allegedly, the shall we say, the concert party bought shares. They bought shares at 20 pence in the pound, just for saying sake. So they bought them off of Joe Soap, and there you go. Right. By the way, that's took you up to 32% of the stock now, which throws you over the 31. That's the threshold that we're talking about. You need to make the offer, and that's what's happened to them. But what King was claiming was, but I only bought shares, I only own 16%, and so and so and so and so and so and so. There was nobody really, one single person owned 31%. But because they've been, shall we say, considered a concert party, lump all the shares together, and it goes over the 31%, and they have to make the offer.
And I'm not any legal expert, but it looks like that to me anyway. Would be John a caller?
We have indeed. It's Gary, mate.
How we doing, Wheels?
How are we, strangers?
Gary, boy.
All right, mate. What's on your mind, Rangers-wise?
Sorry, it's been a while.
I've no noticed, mate. We told you no sympathy, mate. Move on. Did you get my card?
Did I get your card? No. Must have got lost in the post, mate.
Briggs put money in it as well.
What did he? Postman must have. Look at him.
How are you, mate? How's things, mate? How's things? How are you, mate?
Unfortunately, I have to say, start on a bad note. I was recently diagnosed with depression, so that's why I've been keeping away for a while, just trying to get my head together on that.
You've came to the right place after these results.
And obviously, I just want to pass on my condolences to the family of Ray Wilkins.
You're here. Well said, mate. Well said. Are you feeling a bit better, mate?
I'm getting there, mate. I'm just getting my head together. And also, darts legend Eric Bristow is just
we just did that news earlier on, mate. We just did that news earlier on.
News there, but I know I'm getting, I'm just trying to stay positive, trying to get a good head of things, work's keeping me busy, and that's what's keeping my mind off things. It's really been, see with my health and all that, I think everything just kind of got to me, do you know what I mean?
Understandable, mate, understandable. And obviously our team the last few weeks hasn't helped anybody.
It's not helped, but hey, we've got the semi to look forward to, haven't we? So that's I'm not caring about the league now. I'm not even bothering what happens there, to be honest. It's all about the semi for me now. It's make or break, really, isn't it?
Where do you stand in the managerial position? We asked the lobby, we asked the panel earlier on. Will we have a new manager by say June? You've been a fan of Murty's, Gary.
Yes, absolutely. I'm controversial on this one, so if I'm being a realist, I would say, yeah, we're going to have a new manager. But me, as you know, being a fan of Murty, I do think he deserves a full season at least. Just start afresh.
Well, thanks for the call, Gary. Phone back at Christmas time, and I hope you get better.
But no, I do think we will have a new manager. Who it will be? Anybody's guess. Do you know what I mean? I've heard names. Frank de Boer. Heard Alan Pardew mentioned. Alan
Pardew,
the way
not
I
for
see
me.
See the way things are now, though. Who wants it?
Wait a minute. We're club. We're just we're club, mate. There's a lot of positive.
No, what I mean is nobody's came out and said they'd be interested in it. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's come through the hat in the ring as such. I know Murty would jump at the chance. If he was offered that, he would bite the hands off. But I think if he can win the Scottish Cup, I think he's still got a chance.
All right, mate.
Win the Scottish Cup.
All right, I'm going to go back. You just hang on there, and mate, and it's good to hear if you always is, mate. And I'm going to go back to Fox and Bridgman. They were having a debate, and then we're going to move that on about where we're going as a club, i.e. through the leadership of the board. All right, back to I think Fox was leading the debate. On you go, Fox. We lost him. Bridge?
Yeah, well, we were saying as to what the forthcoming major activities within the club, we won't be able to do anything. From an investment perspective, we're hamstrung until we get the share issue, and we can't get the share issue until we get this mandatory offer out. So once all that happens, and Mr. King either buys a whole load of shares or not, yeah. But somewhere along the line, he's got to make the offer, and it takes a month. Let's say it takes a month for that. It might be 2 months, I don't know. But maybe other guys in the lobby might know how long it should take and the legalities within it. But we have to do this. We have to get the money. Mr. King has to put the money in, and I don't know when he's going to do that. But as soon as he puts the money in, they'll make the offer. Done.
I think, I know, mate, there'll be major investment into Rangers shortly, and it'll come for the place where it's came for the last few years. It'll come for the fans, mate. The new shirt deal was a great move by the board, but where's that money going to come for? It's going to come for the fans buying the shirts. It'll be the fans that put a major investment in through season tickets, and the only investment the board have come up with, mate, is if we want to have a vapor thing in the club deck, or well in there, mate, you know.
Am I hearing a wee bit of sarcasm there, Foxy?
No, I think the point George is making, we'll go to George next. We're all anxiously waiting. We feel as if something's happening, but we want to know what it is, and we hope. Obviously, we're looking for positivity. George,
I think we're all the same, Ox. I think we're just we're at the point where we're desperate for something to come out for the club now, Ox. We probably wouldn't be as bothered if we were like you keep on saying, see if we'd win the last 3 games, Ox. We've got results in the last 3 games, picked up points. Maybe in the Celtic game, the Kilmarnock game, would be maybe a wee bit different, but I think we're gripping on just for anything. As we've got to have a new manager, this bit of investment, as the players coming in, I think we're just looking for anything. But Foxy's right what he's saying. There will be massive investment. It will be the fans that put it in yet again. But if we've got these guys running driving our ship for us, if you want to say it that way, we're buying the strips and we're buying the thing. Well, that's the way it's going to be. Well, I'll be happy with it doing it that way, because at least we know who's at the top of the club and where the club's going in that way. That's the way I see it.
all right, Bridgman, how was you judged the board? What kind of job have they done in a scale to 1 to 10, mate? Taking two football wise, on the park and off the park, how do you see it?
Well, I don't know how to answer that, other than you have to take it in 2 different parts, right enough. I think on the park, well, we've seen some improvement from being since they took over. We were in the Championship when they took over, or close to it. We've had 2 seasons in the Championship and now 2 seasons in the Premiership. And I'm afraid that the rest, we've been pretty poor. We ended up getting our promotion, but we've had all sorts of managerial catastrophes up until present. So somewhere along the line, the board have been very unlucky. I don't know whether it's just bad luck or whether it's just been bad decisions by them. And a lot of folk think it's bad decisions by the board. So they don't have their troubles to seek for that. Hopefully, they continue. I'm just sad that Gilligan's gone, because I think he was a good board member. And I think there's obviously problems within the board that made him leave.
I think you're putting 2 and 2 together.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm saying you're up with 5. There's a possibility that people have personal issues as well. It make them make decisions.
Oh yes, indeed. I'm saying. I was just about to say. I think if there was any problems within the board, then hopefully those problems get resolved and they invite John Gilligan back on, because I think he was a really good board member. And in fact, it was he and him that people trusted more than anyone else, to be honest. Because at AGMs, he was a standout, as far as I was concerned. But the board are going to do it. They're really looking forward to the next season. The start of next season, we should be an entirely different club. We should all these issues, all the illegal issues that the board have managed to get out, every drawer they opened, more problems. Every cupboard, a lot of rubbish fell out in Taberham, you know. So it seems like they've managed to solve a lot of problems, and there's work going on at Ibrox. I was over there today, as I say, and there's scaffolding roundabout. So there's stuff going on. So I'm happy with that type of thing. Massive investment? I don't know. You'll need to wait for a share issue and maybe somebody come in with investment of high quality investment.
On the park, How would you judge it out of 10?
On the park, well, up to now, I would less. I'd about 5 or 6.
All right, off the park?
Oh, I'm happier with off the park stuff. I think maybe 7 or 8 off the park.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Ibrox Loyal?
For me, at this moment in time, mate, I would say off the park is a 6. On the park, a 6 also. For the sheer fact why I say a 6, for off the thing, mate, you've still got to take into account the disastrous appointment that Pedro was. The players that he was given a big budget to bring these sort of players in. So I'd say run about a 6 for that. The reason why it's a 6 on the park just now is with Burnley, I thought we'd have been a lot further forward, i.e. I thought we would have been close to challenging this season. It doesn't look like we're going to be doing that, so now we must settle for second place, and it breaks my heart to say that. And the players that were brought in was a good thing that were brought in, and it's the winter transfer window, they call it. They brought in some really good players. That's why it's up at a 6 for that as well. And I think if we're going to hear anything with investment, which I really hope they are out there pushing to get people involved to invest, we'll hear something maybe in the first week or 2 of May, just before we finish up for the summer solstice, for the World Cup and things. I want to hear things.
Summer solstice?
That's a beaver loyal.
Put that poltergeist in my washing machine, innit?
Are you going to Stonehenge?
Well, you know, I thought poltergeist that, and I thought I would just bring my own wee flavour to that. So.
And what days the summer solstice, Ibrox?
Well, I don't know. First, second week in May, maybe.
All right, we'll let you Google that one. I think you're about 6 weeks out, mate.
Oh well.
All right, mate. All right. Okay, what a man you are. What a man. George.
See, you hear me, Ox?
Yes, mate. Yes.
Right. You see on the just a bit hang me one on the John Gilligan one. That just the one for me with John Gilligan. What the people need to remember is when our board came in, they said they were going to work for nothing. They said they were going to work free and they were going to do their services for free. So I mean, these guys are just normal guys. They've got to make a living as well. So I think it all became just a wee bit too much for John Gilligan as well. So but Bridgeman was saying is bang on, Kim. We have got to thank these guys for the work they're doing for the club. They're taking absolutely nothing, and sometimes you just got to go back to your own work and make a wee pound as well. So I think that just proves even further what these guys are doing for their club. Oxken. I'm not saying they're the greatest board in the world, because by all means they're definitely aren't they, but probably not doing any more than what we would do if we could do it. But I know for a fact I couldn't go and work for Rangers every single day and not make a pound for my family, Ox. You know what I mean?
Get that. I mean, obviously, it's no secret I've known John Gilligan for over 30 years, mate. And, an absolute gentleman. And I was really proud to see him go on our board. And I know that he would have hurt every goal that goes against us. He hurts as much as everybody on here. So I hope everything works out well for John, because he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever have the pleasure of.
One of the nicest guys I've ever met, right, Ox?
Aye. Fox. Well, George, how you scoring it on and after part, mate? We're not criticising, we're just giving an observation, mate. It's work in progress. If you think they're doing well, say they're doing well. If you think they're doing crap, say they're doing crap. What's your view, George? Out of 10.
I think your board's doing well. A day again, Fox is saying, I think that's a major thing, getting the shirts back and doing things like that. I think your board's doing well, but on the park, I would say you're about a 3 or 4, and that's my honest opinion. I was expecting us to be up there challenging this year. I'm not saying up there winning the league this year, because I know Celtic's finances is much more than that we can get after 2 years being back in the Premier League. I know that, I'm aware of that, but I thought that the finances we've got, and it's all got to do with finances. Folks say, it's not to do with finances, look at Leicester. That's PE to me. I think if you've got the finances that we've got and we put into our playing staff, I think we should be up there. And the conversation we should be having right now is, what kind of results do you think we're having in the park? We should be up about 7 or 8 or 9. And for me, it's about 3 or 4, because it's been an absolute abysmal in the park, Ox. An absolute abysmal for the first game in Europe to the last game we played there against Motherwell. So it's been abysmal.
Aye, well, it shoots a recovery and then it's just went pear-shaped every time. So, I'm very honest, very honest there, George. Fox, and then we'll go to Gary.
What have the board done off the park?
You're a hard man.
No, I didn't. I say I was going to make 2 points, mate. They have done well to take up the slack to allow us to invest 10 million or near enough to it to buy in the players that Pedro, etc. brought in. But for me, they stood by and watched it spent wrongly, in my opinion. We brought in players that weren't up to Rangers class. They allowed us to bring them in without, for me, watching some of them playing or having reports on how they were playing. Taking Pina as an example, mate, Herrera. I don't know how Pedro was allowed to sign players of such poor quality. Secondly, on the board off the park, they've failed to defend the club and its fans during its duration so far. So I would give them a 6 for holding the investment, maybe even a 7 for allowing the investment of 10 million, although it was spent wrongly. I would give them a 3 for defending the club off the park and against terrible articles that's been allowed to go unchallenged in newspapers and on radio stations. Their silence has been terrible, and I would give them a 3 for that. For the team on the park, mate,
I know you're still smarting for because we talked quite a bit, I know you're still smarting for the downright lies that was printed in the press after the Scottish Cup final in 2016, Fox,
I came out and started well, mate. They put out a statement, never followed it up, and they've allowed people from outside our club to tear our fans and our club asunder with defamatory articles and never challenged them. That has been their biggest failure so far for me. But I think they're trying hard, and let's hope. We can only hope they get it together, mate, and they get it right in the end.
Cheers, mate. Honest as ever. Gary?
I actually have to agree with Fox there. I do think that whenever these kind of stories came out, the board should, release statements to defend the club. If you remember, there was the whole rumblings about admin too and all that. Not a peep from the board, I think they should have came out just to put the fans at ease. I know nobody actually believed it was going to happen, but I still think they should have come out just to, to show the fans that they were hearing these things. On the park, if we're looking at the season as a whole, I'd have to agree with what George said, probably a 3 or a 4, because every time we've been given an opportunity, we've bottled it. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? Every time we've been given a chance to close the gap, we just haven't capitalised at all. But I mean, the board have done well in terms of, the backing that they've given the club. As you say, they gave us this 10 million, but unfortunately the wrong man was in charge at the time to spend that money. But hey ho. So I would say 3 or 4 on the park, and I'll give them a 6 off.
All right. I think it's not been good with the football side since maybe 6 months into the Warburton reign. We've seen us going forward, and then that ended quite sourly, and then we broke Kitchener, and it's only my opinion. People will see it differently, and I think it was a mistake for day one. We gave him a Joe Burley, and I think that was a good move, but ultimately backfired because he lost confidence in the fans, because we could see right away the 2 performances against Celtic and Aberdeen. He'd lost the fans, and then the game in Luxembourg quite quickly just put the cat amongst the pigeons. I would have sacked him that night, personally, if I was a board member and they let that fester too long. And then we never got the appointment in after Kachina, and we put Mr. Murty in as a gamble to try and buy them time. I understand the logic behind it. For me, it was another negative. We should have had an experienced manager in, and you never know where it would have took us this season, where it could have ended up, because when you start looking at it, it's all ifs, buts and maybe. So on the football side, it's a 3.5 out of 10 for me. Off the park, the Ashley deal, improving the stadium. There seems to be a wee bit more communication with the fans group, i.e. Club 1872, the board. How good that's going to go and how well it's going to go in the future remains to be seen. But there's positives there. If that's going to work, only time will tell. If the two groups will stay independent, I don't know if there's going to be too many crossovers. So we've got that. The deal getting rid of Ashley was a big positive for me. I didn't think it would work out as well as it has done. I thought we were going to be tied for a bit longer. Big pat in the back for that. The court cases haven't helped the publicity surrounding the club. Hopefully that's them finished. A negative there for me. So, and getting the resolution through could ultimately be a positive. I would say that's neutral at the moment because we don't know. So off the park, we might be talking about 5 or 6 out of 10. We maybe a 2 sitting. If the investment comes in, we would take that up to about 8 out of 10. That's the way I see it. Any comments, Bridgeman?
No, I can't disagree with you. Other than, I think we've been, football-wise, certainly this part of the season, we've seen some recoveries, and really 4 or 5 weeks ago we thought we were possibly going to challenge for the league if we got a bit of luck, and that didn't happen. I think the board, the board get all the plaudits going for the manner in which they've done it. They've got themselves through hell. Touching on some of the stuff that Fox said is absolutely right about not challenging this and not challenging that. There may have been a reason for this, for not doing that, and I don't know what it is. It might be all politics. So I don't know. I'd rather, shall we say, not challenge the board too much on that and let them go on with it. But they should be challenged at some point. But I do think they're doing very, very well. And where everybody's looking forward to this new contract for the ship deal coming out, possibly new distributors and new manufacturers. So, and maybe even a new sponsor, I don't know. But hopefully they'll all get something up their sleeve and they go on with it. I don't think the board are stars in the greatest sense of the word. But to me, they're stars. Because I'll tell you what, they saved their club in more ways than one, and that's for sure.
I've got a question for the lobby from young Rangers loyal mate. He says, can you ask the panel, do they think that safe standing will be in for next season? Just a yes or no will do in it, boys?
Not for me.
No, not for me. Not for me.
George?
No for me.
Ibrox?
Definitely not.
Gary?
No from me, mate.
We're told at AGM, Fox, but we know that it was going to be a 4-year turnaround for it.
I think it's too soon myself. It would take another year's planning, I think, to do that, mate. So that's your question answered, young Rangers loyal.
Hope it's not the answer he wanted.
Probably not, mate.
Yes, mate.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask you a question, mate? And maybe put this around the panel as well. We've talked about the board there, obviously. What about Dave King as an individual? Like, how do you feel that he's doing for the club? And any praise, any criticism that you've got of him?
He doesn't seem to lose many court cases. He seems to know. I think that must be Casimir upbringing.
I love it.
Obviously, the concert party won, and even then, he ultimately got what he wanted, how he was wanting to pay it. So he's got some great legal people. I think Dave King has got he's got the club in his heart. I just don't know if it works being an absentee landlord. That gives us problems, I think. if he was here and lived here and he was driving driving it every day without having the distractions of being his own businesses and being abroad, I think makes a difference. But you can't doubt Dave's commitment to the club, what he'd done before, and put money in, and he came back when asked to come back in and help. So I wish him all the best, and if he moves on and sells his shares, and he'll always be welcome at Ibrox. Fox?
Dave King himself and the way he's handled some of the stuff, I'll give him 10 out of 10. But his big fault to me is, like you, being the absent landlord, he hasn't left somebody strong enough to control the day-to-day running of the club, mate.
Bridgeman?
Look, I think King's been through it's every bit as rough a journey as ourselves. He's actually went to war with the authorities to try to, I dare say, with Murray as well, to try and guarantee his 20 million investment from the previous, prior to us going into liquidation. And he's followed on. I mean, the guy's been a gem. In many ways, he's been a gem. And maybe I'm a bit biased, so to everybody, please forgive me. I'm very biased towards Dave King. And I think Dave King and that boy Gilligan are just fantastic. And I've been to these AGMs and watched the previous mob, and it was just dreadful. It was just dreadful. And we were treated so shabbily and poorly. When we're seeing seeing everything that's good now from the board. They're not great, by the way. I'm not trying to bum them up too much. There's a long way to go. But it's a more enjoyable part of the journey. Apart from the football and the park sometimes, it's a more enjoyable journey. I don't think any of us are living in trepidation now that somebody's going to pull the rug out from under our feet and leave us with nothing, you know. I think we're being well looked after and guarded that way, and I hope it continues.
George, then Ibrox?
I'm making no secret. I think until at the moment, I say, I think Dave King's been excellent for Rangers. I really think he has. I mean, you're talking about court case. He would all do well in court if we all had O.J. Simpson's lawyers. I don't know how that guy does it so good in the court. He's absolutely fantastic. Like, people keep on thinking this is his time. Folks got to get him this one, but in my honest opinion, I think he's been great for Rangers. I've got none at the moment. I've got nothing bad to say against the guy.
Ibrox?
No, as I says, mate, I've got a lot of time for Dave King. For, as you says, the money invested the last time round. As you says, when asked to come back and help, he did that. The only reason he's had so many court cases and everything else is because he came in, he helped our club, and everybody hated that fact. If he had come in to any other club to help them in the same sort of situation, he would have absolutely no problems. And I'm a bit like yourself and Fox, the way that he's not here 24/7 running the club. But even if he could, for maybe the start of next season, leave somebody with a lot more experience and a lot more backbone for to help us when people try to say bad things against our fans or our club in general. Somebody that's really going to stick up for us. So, but I'm absolutely delighted that he's here, and if he goes and gives it to the right person, if ever decides to move on in the future, I'm exactly yourself, Fox. He'll always be welcome at Ibrox and walking heavy. So,
What about yourself, Gary?
I do believe he's got the best interests at heart, but for me, I'm being honest, I am very against the fact that he's not here. I feel really strongly about it, that he's not here. I just don't see how, you know, what other chairman do you know that, you know, is not here? Do you know what I mean?
The Man City chairman.
Aye, but the players they've got in the park, they can run themselves. I don't know. I feel that whenever we've had problems, he's not been here. Do you know what I mean? I think if you know that something's going be happening. If you can see a problem arising, you need to get straight over here. Do you know what I mean? But I think he's kind of delayed on these things. But I've no doubt he's got the best interests at heart. He knows what he's doing. So, I mean, I'm right behind him. And as Ibrox says there, if he does go, as long as he passes it on to the right people, then he's got my best wishes.
Anyway, we've reached that time of the evening. Gary, if you don't mind giving us a shout-out, then Ibrox.
Yeah, I just, obviously, I've missed being here, so I'm glad to be back, and I'm really hoping that I can start being on more regular.
All right, mate. All right. Always good to hear from you, mate. I hope you get better, mate. I hope you're feeling better soon, mate.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. It's always good to hear from you, mate. Ibrox?
Just another great show. Some really great, interesting points being put across for everybody on the panel and the guys in the lobby. But just big shout out to Gary. Good to hear him back on, and hope he gets a lot better soon.
George?
An excellent show tonight, Ops. Good discussions. Really enjoyed the show tonight. Well done, everybody.
Fox, the washing finished?
Don't speak about it, mate. if I'm missing the war tonight, you know I've been worked inside it somewhere. Anyway, thanks to everybody that took part in the lobby, and thanks to people for listening.
Chris, man.
Oh, what can I say? Another smashing night, by the way. Really good discussions, I thought, anyway. Hopefully the content was good and stimulates debate within the lobby and within the wider world. And at the end of the day, we are all Bears. And to other Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, what we've been talking about tonight comes from the heart, some of it. Believe you me. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers. Please, keep it going.
I can thank Gary, George, Ibrox Loyal, Bridgeman and Fox for taking the time to join the panel. Everybody in the lobby for their banter and listening to the show. And everybody who listens to the show all times of the day, all over the world, and their wives. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Fox.